Thank you everybody for joining us on this week's episode of the AstraCAST. We have episode 4 here with our good friend Elijah Sheen. He's back with us for another talk today. How are you guys doing?
I'm honestly doing great, especially kind of moving into the holiday season.
I
think for the first time since I was a kid, I'm feeling the holiday cheer again, which I
Are you really?
I really am.
I wish I could say
it's the giving. I maybe tend to give a little bit past my means, but like I feel like it's so worth it, especially when I give gifts to people that I really care about.
And then he did give us these lovely books today. Choose Your Enemies Wisely by Patrick Bet-David.
You better believe I got one for myself as well.
Shout out PBD.
PBD.
See you at your conference this year or next year coming soon.
In Miami, Florida, I think still.
Is it in Miami?
It's in Miami.
I think so.
That's cool.
I think it's in the same venue as it was last year.
He's such a no BS guy.
You coming, bro?
Straightforward.
Am I coming?
You coming?
I mean, by then I don't have the money, so yeah.
Yeah,
Little Astra trip. We got to go all the way. As much as it hurts,
dude,
we got to go all the way.
You guys can go all the way. I'll be in the crowd.
Have you seen the tickets?
They're like, what? How much?
For all the way is 15 bands.
15 bands to meet PBD.
That's a full day.
It's
a once in a lifetime opportunity, and we're excited to meet you.
That's your dinner with Jay-Z.
That's your dinner with Jay-Z. Except you don't get paid for it, you pay for it, bro. Like, there's gonna be so many dudes who do the same thing as us. It's like 100 people sitting there. We'll be at the end of the table.
I think it's like, well, I think they cap it at like 150 tickets, and then they all get invited to his house for dinner, and then he throws this like party for just the 150 people. And
it's like your dinner with Jay-Z, but you pick up the tab.
And you're paying to be there, man.
Oh, that's crazy.
Fuck.
But like, the people that exposes you to.
Oh, your network just it expands.
Yeah, I'm guessing it'll definitely expand your network, especially if you take that opportunity to. So
30 bands for us to do that. I mean, at the end of the day, if you meet someone who like either invests in you or you just meet a connection you can work with the rest of your life, or even just like a one-time thing, it's still worth it, technically speaking.
Like meeting your positive influence. Like I saw Peterson has a, I think it's in Hartford. I'm almost certain it's in Hartford. If not, it's in like New York or something like that. But he has, I think it's basically like a lecture coming up, and like he's selling tickets to it, which I would
Jordan,
love to
bro,
see that.
I'd be there, 100%.
I'd lose my mind if I saw Jordan Peterson. I'm such a huge fan.
Shout out Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
Jordan Peterson.
That'd be cool if we took trips together and we just kind of documented it.
Yeah,
I feel like that'd be interesting.
That would be interesting.
And that would give a perspective to people that kind of think about getting into the whole entrepreneurship thing, and you know, the people that don't, it'd give them a cool perspective. I feel like.
And it's like not just real estate. It's like anything. Like we're like we just like business. So you ever see us out, we just like business. Talk to us about business. Anything you're trying to do, investing, the whole 9 yards. We're all for it. So
that'd be cool. That's a big theme. I feel like on our podcast is encouraging entrepreneurship. We put it on our sweatshirts. So our sweatshirts are
coming out.
Early 2024.
I can't wait.
Early 2024. Very exciting.
My new favorite sweatshirt.
Oh. Wait till you see the design. Wait till you see the design. You'll see it after. It's so nice.
You want to see it right now? Live reaction.
Oh,
it's on my phone. I can't show you.
GG's.
Later.
But
the anticipation.
I hope you like them. So
I definitely will. I'm so excited.
I'm very pumped.
Merry Christmas to me.
Yeah, dude. Thanks again for the books.
Dude, no problem.
For the ice bath.
For the ice bath too. Have you?
I have not used it yet.
I went in, bro. I went in
Did
twice.
you?
Yeah, it was fucking cold. I did it for my back. So I tweaked my back first day back from vacation. Tweaked my back doing hack squats. So I thought it was funny. But I was like, it's time to stop being little. You know, I'm not gonna use it so that way our editors want to blank it out. I'm not stop being like little girl and just fucking do it. So I decided to jump in the tub, and it was good.
That's good. That's awesome.
A couple times.
That's something I just like highly recommend for everybody to do. Hop into some cold water every day, or when you can, when you feel like it. Cause I mean, obviously, like doing the hard thing in general is always great. It's always kind of great doing something difficult, especially when, if you really look at it, sitting in freezing cold water, that's probably the hardest part of your day, and you get that done as soon as you get out of bed. The rest of the day is a breeze. Also, it does kind of spike your cortisol levels, like your stress hormone. To the point where when it comes back down, your baseline for stress will be significantly lower, so you will feel less stressed by association, basically. And
okay,
yeah.
Question for you.
Go for
to
it.
optimize it a little bit, do you recommend taking the ice bath after some sort of workout or before?
No, I mean, it depends on what you're going for. Since like, I mean, I kind of work out to like build muscle and like gain strength. Inflammation's great for that, so I'd rather not do cold exposure afterwards because it limits that inflammation. You know what I mean? So like after like a workout, I recommend, and I usually do like the sauna for anywhere from like 10 to like 30 minutes depending. And if you do that a couple times a week, it kind of promotes not only like good circulation, it's good for your cardiovascular system, but at the same time, it also promotes good blood flow to the muscles that need the recovery after you tear muscle, you know, after or during a workout.
So what's the best way to fit it in for somebody that wants to build muscle, wants to build their strength? How do they fit that?
The ice bath? First thing in the morning. And when I tell you it propels you forward throughout the day, I mean, you get out of, I mean, yeah, trust me, for a couple seconds, you will feel like you're dying a little bit. Your body's going to tell you you're dying for a little bit. You're not dying. You know what I mean? That's just your body's kind of like automatic response to freezing cold water, which is fair. It was probably developed over time because of, you know, just like survival instincts. But you feel like you're dying for a little bit. And then once you kind of like get used to it and you get out of it, your energy levels are, trust me, it wakes you up in the morning.
It does. It wakes you up.
It really wakes you up.
That's
in
a
the
fact.
morning.
I came out with the first time I did it was on last Friday, and I came out. I cooked a full meal, like full of energy. It was like 7:30, 8 o'clock too. Usually I'd be kind of like tired. I was like cracked. I was good to go.
You ready to come out of the water fighting a bear?
Oh, I was good to go. Yeah, I felt really good. So yeah, I'm starting implementing it a couple times a week into my routine.
Okay.
I think it's the play.
Yeah. If not first thing in the morning, what time you said 7? Like 8 p. Is it PM?
I did. That was like because that was the day I tweaked my back, so I was like, I'm just gonna give it a shot. So I stopped being a pussy and just decided to do it. But then the next morning, I got up like 7. I just jumped right in. Really? I came out of bed. I was like, Shelby, take a picture of me.
Shelby, take a picture.
Yeah, before she went out for work.
Mom, watch this.
I was like, went in. I was like, I just sat there. Here's a cool picture.
Right.
Did I show you the picture yet?
No, but I remember you telling me you just launched in. Yeah. You launched yourself in.
Oh, the first time, and then I had to get out because I couldn't breathe.
Yeah. It does kind of limit your breathing for a little bit. Because all of your muscles contract and all the blood flow goes to all your vital organs just to kind of protect them. Again, it's just like a biological thing that your body does to like protect itself.
That's nuts, dude.
It's so great. Nuts. It is. I know it sounds nuts. It's amazing. Second best time to do it would probably be before workout. Because if you go into a workout with your body temperature a little bit colder, you can last longer during your workout. Because what kind of happens during a workout, especially that's like super intense, is that you end up kind of overheating. And when you overheat during a workout, that's when your body starts to sweat, lose all of the electrolytes, and you get fatigued. So definitely before a workout, you're able to last longer in doing so.
Interesting.
Fun stuff. Yeah. Definitely interesting stuff. And also, I mean, all the stress of like the work day, that kind of it doesn't compare to like that initial 30 seconds of cold water. And if like the hardest part of my day lasts about 30 seconds, everything else is kind of like a breeze, like I said before. So definitely recommend it, especially if you have a hard time getting out of bed and you say you wake up at 6:30 and you have to be in the office that's 10 minutes away, like 2 hours from then. It's a great way to wake you up and make sure that you're productive in some sort of way.
You have to be because you're cold.
You're cold. Freezing. Your body, you want to move. You really do want to move when you're in there. But definitely recommend it. It's something that I like to try everything once, maybe twice. So like, I'd recommend somebody tries it once at some point. You know, definitely beneficial.
That's true. To piggyback on that, we had a little bit of a discussion before. Who, what, and where is your why? Like
I feel like I don't even know. I feel like that's like a fun little like saying to kind of really encapsulate like your whys in general. I feel like one thing that kind of propels me forward just in my daily life when I'm not feeling it and I want to stay on track and kind of keep the ball rolling, stay disciplined, is like think about why I'm doing what I'm doing and having that goal in mind. So like who you're doing it for, obviously you're doing it for yourself, but most of the time there are also other people kind of factoring into your success and whose life you may be changing for the better if you do succeed. So I feel like that's a big thing that you could look into, like where do you want to be, either like metaphorically or like physically. Like if you don't want to be at a certain point in your life and you want to move forward, like where do you want to be within a certain amount of time. And we were on vacation Of course, we're on vacation.
Yeah.
We're thinking about work. I mean,
Yeah, why wouldn't we? You know, the first day, like the first 2 hours we worked.
Yeah, we
like,
kind of,
the
as
first
soon as we
day
got
I
off the
woke
plane,
up, I was like,
yeah, as soon as we kind of, when we woke up the next day after
Yeah.
we slept, I mean, we kind of just both turned over and did a little bit of work. But like, I love what I do, so I feel like it's really not a big deal for me to do that stuff on vacation because I still enjoy kind of the aspect of helping people.
fun.
Right. How do you balance? Okay, let's say you're going to take some time for vacation.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to take some time to spend with your loved one, like you're spending time with Shelby. How do you balance that? You know, sometimes they have this expectation of no work at all.
Yeah.
Is that realistic to you guys? How do you balance that?
It's I always say it's not realistic because when you have a business and you have multiple things going on, it's difficult for you to fully unplug from that because you have to put out so many different fires. There's so many different things going on. Just like little things you have to work on, but there's a line. You know what I mean? There's like a limit to what you should do when you're spending that quality time with the loved ones. Because at the end of the day, you got to think about how they feel. Like kind of what time are you investing into your company, like in like your work, and what time are you investing into yourself and your loved ones? Mm-hmm. So as long as you can just do a little bit of like the business stuff, your work stuff, and then you juggle like the rest of the time with your loved ones. I feel at least for Shelby, she understands that. And she's just been supportive. She's supported me since the first since I got started. So, side note, if you need everyone picking a partner, finding somebody that supports you no matter what situation you're in is it's a good sign. I know Alex Ramosi said something along the lines of he told Layla to leave him because he was a sinking ship, and she stuck with him. She stuck with him. She was
where
there.
they are now. I mean,
And look where they are now.
Yeah.
So we're obviously not as far ahead as Alex and Layla are currently. Mm-hmm. But I used to be in a similar situation. I didn't have any money. I was broke delivering food. And Shelby supported like everything we did in terms of finances, like paying our rent, holding it down because she truly believed in me. And yeah, then we started Astra, started buying properties.
That's a great example.
I remember the DoorDash days. Remember I met Nick. When I met Nick, we ran into each other at the gym a couple times.
Yeah.
Great energy right off the bat. And I was a line cook at a Noodles and Company in Southington.
Shout out Noodles.
Shout out Noodles.
Banging
Never
food.
Call me back.
If I eat there like at least once a week.
Never
dude.
again.
Like,
anyway, yeah. And then I turn around. I'm like, oh, gym guy. He's picking up food. And I'm like, that guy has such good energy. Such a great dude. I mean, that's kind of where our friendship started.
It's right there, right? Noodles Company.
Kind of even looking back, what was that, 3 years?
That was 3 years ago.
Even now, looking back that far, I feel like we both come such a long way.
Oh, such a long ways. And it's like...
It's great to look back and kind of see the progress that we made. Because if we never stop to look back and like understand how much we've done, it's hard to kind of be grateful for the accomplishments that we have achieved. So,
and that's a big one, dude. Like I was talking to Marcus about that, just like reflecting on what we have. We talked a little bit about this in our most recent episode. But it's easy to get caught up in like the workflow and the constant grind, especially we live in a culture. It's like a hustle culture. You feel like you have to keep going, but
some of us,
yeah, exactly. Fair. Some people are just lazy, but so no offense if you are. It's like do your thing. I don't judge.
Each their own.
But no. So it's nice to kind of sit back at the end of the day and kind of reflect on what you do have and how far you have come. Because the accomplishments you make, they're not small. You know what I mean? They're not small accomplishments. If you achieve a goal, don't just push it off because I achieved it. I got to move to the next. Say, okay, I achieved this. This is great. Like pat yourself on the back and then move to the next. So you could reflect on that. So I feel like a lot of people don't do that enough.
It's big. You're saying be appreciative of what you have. You know, giving time to your loved ones because that's your why.
They're only here for a certain amount of time, dude. You know what I mean? We're only here for a certain amount of time.
Right.
Yeah.
You get to see, go ahead.
Even like, rather than being so hard and negative on yourself, you can be hard on yourself and you could be positive, kind of giving yourself that positive feedback loop and like giving yourself that that positive encouragement. I feel like that's changed the game for me in my own eyes because I feel like my attitude went from being so come on man, like I know you got more in you, like. Come on, like you're better than this. So like, hey man, that was great. And even I talk to myself all the time, and I'm not crazy, but like kind of just telling myself like, listen, that was great. Keep doing what you're doing. Even maybe push for a little bit more is going to do a lot more for you than kind of telling yourself like, come on, dude, you're not doing enough.
Yeah, do better.
It's like focusing on what you're lacking is never going to bring positivity into your life. So why would you expect to kind of talk bad on yourself and expect good results?
Right. Because you head in the direction that you're focused on.
Right.
That's cool.
That's fast. If you don't believe in yourself, then why do you expect other people to believe in you?
Yeah, I mean, having that mindset of like what you lack will never. I feel like, and I read in a book once. I think it was The Power of the Subconscious Mind, or no, it was Ninja Selling. Ninja Selling. They were talking about like having a lack mindset will never. It'll never bring anything more than just lack. So like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you're kind of focusing on what you don't have, you'll only focus on what you don't have, not appreciate what you do have, and you probably won't gain much more focusing on what you don't have.
You want to track what you do want. Right.
Yeah, it's facts.
That's cool. I love the biggest thing that I learned a lot from you when you talk about. I'm gonna bounce back to the supportive partner thing.
Yeah.
Where you have somebody. When you mentioned Layla, it reminded me of that story where she was like, if I have to sleep under a bridge, like I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I have to sleep under a bridge as long as I'm right next to you, like I'll
doesn't
do
matter.
it.
Yeah.
Like that. And
That's
then
beautiful.
seeing you guys live that example, it's super impactful, super encouraging.
Yeah, man. Screw the Notebook. Sorry, Nicholas Sparks. No, but seriously, yeah, it's beautiful to see. It's so great watching you two operate together because I mean, you see that she cares so deeply about you, and she only ever wants to see you succeed.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
And no, it's a blessing. It's a blessing, and I know you have the same type of thing with Natalia.
We've grown so much.
Oh, you've grown so much. Bro, seeing you guys now, especially, dude, second, like, it's night and day. From like we first met you guys to like now, and it's night and day. Like her support and like how you guys like mesh together, it's insane. So having
very
that,
thankful.
and now it's Sheen's turn to find that.
I mean,
find that woman, that supportive woman.
I mean, the way I see it is like I have friends that aren't doing what I'm doing, but are still supportive of what I'm doing. I kind of find that through them. And then I have friends like you two that are such a positive influence on my life. But on top of that, all you guys want to see me do is succeed. And all
100%.
I want to see you do is succeed. So we kind of feed off of each other's positive energy. It does kind of push us to great lengths. So having good friends that whether or not you're on a similar path or not, they support you in what you do is absolutely huge. And that goes for friends, family, spouses. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just like a partner thing, like in a relationship sense. I feel like if you get that if you kind of expand that into other horizons, like your friends and like your bosses and like even your coworkers, I feel like if you find that and you tend to focus your energy on what brings back the good energy, especially when it comes to people, I feel like it again it propels you forward. And I feel like it's a huge thing to kind of accomplish, or at least establish, maybe.
Yeah.
With other people.
That's facts.
Being mindful of who you kind of
associate with.
Yeah, who you associate with. And like we all have, I mean, Nick kind of brought around the term like fun friends.
Fun friends, yeah.
Fun friends,
Fun friends. Yeah, everyone has a fun friend.
We all have fun friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's nice to have those. And even though they're, again, taking different career paths, I feel like if you can at least support them and they support you, I see no wrong in having them around, especially if, again, they want you to win as much as they want to win. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, in their own sense.
Yeah. In their own sense.
In their own sense.
That's why they're fun.
So outside of all the work,
what
are some of the things you indulge in, to treat yourself, to say, you know what, I earned some time off? Or how do you know you need time off?
I know when I need time off, when I start to dislike what I do, or I start to get anxious, or maybe like dread going into work, or even like talking about work. So I think that's when I kind of take a step back and explore my other interests, which, I mean, for me, there's like a bunch of things that I like to do. I like working out, obviously. So maybe I'll take a 2-hour workout and really like, you know what I mean?
Feel the muscle.
Yeah, feel the muscle, kill it, absolutely destroy my body in its own sense. And then go home, maybe just sit in bed, meditate a little bit. Meditation is huge for me. I feel like that kind of gives my body a great reset. I like to cook a lot. Cooking's another one of my, I'd say, newer passions. Like I've been cooking for myself for the past 2 years, but really kind of trying to master different skills in that kind of, oh, what a good boy. In that sense. And then Yeah, I also love to read, and like I read other things that aren't completely work related. Again, like I'm huge into philosophy, so kind of maybe reading about like different aspects of life that don't include work, like just like social situations. Like I'm big into sociology as well. Like I love reading, again, like Jordan Peterson. Like it always will benefit my life to an extent and my work life, just by happenstance. But like I really feel like just finding other things to be excited about. In the summer when it's really nice out, I love to hike. I like to be outside at the beach, all that stuff. I've grown to enjoy nature the more busy I become, because I kind of told this to Nick while we were out staring at the we were sitting out of the balcony staring out at the ocean, and it was just there. Because I mean, before we were here, me and Nick, us
The ocean
humans,
was there, yeah.
all of that, the oceans were there before us, and when we're all gone and forgotten, the ocean will still be there. So like what I kind of was talking to Nick about is like that's just what is. So I'm out in nature, I'm watching the sunset. The sun's gonna be there when I'm gone. You know what I mean? That's what really is. We just happen to be able to experience it when we do. So I feel like it's a very humbling experience going out into nature, knowing that like as a human, and it's a beautiful thing that our lives are fragile, but it's so, I mean, in comparison to all the other aspects of just like the world around us, is short and fragile, and I feel like that's something I really tend to enjoy when being out in nature. So I feel like that's something that everyone should experience at some point, you know?
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
You made it real clear for all the ladies, dude. The key to your heart.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah, leave him. He's not ready. But no, dude.
Focusing on me right now. Whatever that
But
means.
now it's essential, and like finding the little things that you like to do in your life. That's like not work related. I mean, some people love to just like work. Like example, not to keep referencing Alex Ramosi, but I consume a lot of his content. Like Alex Ramosi said, like he really enjoys working, but when he gets like steamed out, or like he starts to feel like kind of exhausted, he'll just like go binge a show, or like he'll go do something that like he'll just like kill Netflix for a bit. Yeah. And that's like one way to do it. I like to, when I'm feeling exhausted or I want to do something different, I like to play video games. Big fan of Overwatch. I'll play video games. I'll take him on longer walks. Yeah, just like little things. I love spending time with my animals. So like little things like that. It's kind of helped me decompress away from like business, and it like reminds me of like why I'm doing it to begin with. So little things.
That's been hard to accept.
Yeah,
I got to admit.
Right?
It's hard. It is
able
hard.
to- yeah.
Being away from work, knowing that there's things to be done, but I mean, Rome can never be built in a day. They'd say Rome wasn't built in a day, and it can't be. So there will always be things to do in your career. But if you don't do it correctly and do everything one at a time, or just do it at a normal pace, it can end up kind of being maybe not your best work. You know what I mean? Like I feel like if I'm not taking my time to sit down and understand what somebody needs from me in my field, my quality of work decreases, because maybe I'm just bouncing all over the place with other people. But if I don't slow down and kind of focus on one goal at a time, or having one conversation at a time, the service that they're getting is just by association not what it could be. You know what I mean?
Right.
So if you get like 3 tasks done today, and you do them to your fullest extent, and you really put care and effort and time into it, I feel like that what you did there can't be undone. And kind of, I mean, down the road, if you try to do 5 things in one day and it's not your best work, I mean, what do you think is going to stand the test of time? Like, metaphorically speaking.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, I listened to Dan Coe's podcast. Shout out to CoCast. He has like, I think it's called the 2-hour workday. He has a 2-hour writer, but he does a 4-hour workday, and it consists. He just works like, he's at a point now where he could do this, but like he works like dedicated 4 hours on his business, and that's really all he'll do. And the rest of the time will be spent like just enjoying like what he has. Kind of like spending time with his girlfriend, like meeting with his writer, meeting with his team, or like just doing stuff he enjoys, or just going on like a walk. But he noticed he's more productive in that 4 hours because you're dedicating like the time to like that's your set for like an hour like throughout the day. And I think he does like 2 hours in the morning, an hour in like 2 hours in like from like 7 to 9 or something, and then from 11 to 12, and like from 1 to 2 or something like that. He'll,
Right.
Like, do like
It's because that transitionary period kills us.
exactly.
Right? We have a hard time like shifting gears. Gosh.
And so like
true.
I almost kind of adopted that. So in a way. So I've been trying to not put like. So I'm still somewhat in this mindset of like I need to work all day every day, and if I don't work all day every day, I'm a scrub.
Right.
That I'm trying to get there is like, okay, what did I accomplish? Because you can work all day and not accomplish anything because you're.
Question for you.
Yeah.
So it sounds like you experienced the same thing. Like, so do you experience? You're like, there's this expectation that you have to keep working. You try to like drag how efficient you are, and you try to drag it out all day.
Yeah.
And then you realize, well, shit.
No one could be efficient
by,
all day.
By like the second half, I fell apart, and then you like beat yourself up because you didn't get as much done as you wanted to.
Yeah.
Or the quality of work wasn't like what you were expecting it to.
Yeah.
And then you're like, dude, okay, like you got to change something. You go to bed, you're like, whatever, tomorrow's gonna be different, and then you do the same exact thing. And you try to drag out that efficiency period, how long you're efficient. Do you go through that? What is that like for you?
The efficiency aspect for me is I used to, and I still do this. It's like something I'm working on actively. But sitting and trying to find other tasks to like accomplish, even when I've done like X, Y, and Z in a day, I realize I'll still be looking for the next task. I'll still be thinking I'm not doing enough because we're not like where we want to be yet. You know what I mean? I realized I stopped enjoying the journey. I made it a race to get to that like the next deal, to get to adding more units to the portfolio, adding like taking out another project, and just trying to do like all these different things. And so I realized doing that it kind of kills my efficiency because you get exhausted. You get exhausted so much quicker, and you don't fully recover because you try and do it every single day, and it's fun. You like it. But eventually your efficiency starts to decrease over time because you can only keep up the same momentum for so long without taking a slight rest for your brain and for your body. So what I've been trying to do is after I complete X, Y, and Z, I'll do something I like to do. Or I'll take Horton for a walk, or I'll go to my parents' house and play with them in their yard or something like that. Like I try and like break up the day to make it so I'm not like nonstop all the time. You can only do so much, and like focusing on like two separate things, like, or even three, is like with Freedom, Astra, and the newsletter, like trying to focus on both is like tough. So I know you like have the podcast on your back, so it's like it's a lot. And
Dude
even
carries.
you said the same thing. How do you feel?
He carries.
How do you feel about that?
It's I still struggle with that a lot because then I look everywhere else. It still kills me. I see other
Social media. Yeah.
And like I got to control. I will control it, but it's that okay. Like I'm not doing something productive, therefore I try to like extend that productivity period, and then I end up like beating myself up because I'm not like putting in. I'm not able to focus on the things I want to focus on, and it gets upsetting. I get frustrated because it's like, well, you know, I should have broken this up. I could have done this differently. I could have, but I'm like, you know, there's a part of you that's guilty. But that was before. That was honestly like this past week has been a lot better.
Yeah.
And just you know finally admitting that you know what we're tired.
And we
do this all year.
We came to this conclusion as we were renovating one of our units. We like I remember you like laying on the floor. You're like, oh, man, no, you were saying you were painting the bathroom, or we were prepping to paint the bathroom, and you're like, man, my head hurts. And I was like, yeah, you're fucking tired. And I was like, I'm tired too. And we had this entire conversation about like why we've been like pretty exhausted recently, but yeah,
that's why it's important to keep the people that support you close to you.
True.
And so, you know, put in the work, but then put in the time to those people that support you, that help you recover, that help you kind of, you know, come back to your senses.
They nourish you.
Those people are essential. When we talk about our whys, like that's a fundamental part of our success is treating those whys. Yeah. To have the most effective year in 2024, identify your why, take care of your why, take care of your people,
Take care of yourself.
Take care of yourself.
Yourself, essential.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, identify your goals, identify the tasks you want to get done, and then give yourself a reward. Complete your task, give yourself a reward.
Even if it's just like a pat on the back, like.
Indulge in your show, indulge in something, you know, play your game, reward yourself so that you can continue to chase after, okay, you know, after I complete X, Y, and Z, I can do this. It like trains your brain, no, to continue to desire, okay, you know, it gives you another burst of, okay, I'm going to get this done, reward. I'm going to get this done, reward. And then I think the last thing was, identify moments throughout your day where you start to lose efficiency. Identify when your output per unit of time falls below a certain threshold. Then like introduce a break. Just do that all 2024. You should be able to have a far more effective year.
You'll be so much more productive. And take it from us. Like we just like didn't implement that until now. We just like full sent it all year. We still were still productive, but like started to kind of feel tired towards the end of it. So.
Can't be it's not sustainable.
Yeah, it's not sustainable.
I think we've talked about it too, but I'm trying really hard to embrace that if you got to put money into it, you got to put money into it. Because your time, if it's gonna help you output better quality stuff in half the time, it's 100% worth it.
100%. Because it's like a return on investment.
The ROI, it will be huge because I've gotten so much positive feedback from what you edited. And if I could just like. At some point, I would love to sit, maybe like a weeknight or something like that. If you're not busy,
we can get into it. CapCut Premium, worth it. I'm using tools like Opus Clip to edit stuff. It's nice because the AI software will pull the portions of the clips you want to talk about. It'll pull the portions into little downloadable snippets, and then you could adjust all the fonts on it there. And then you can download these and implement your own B-rolls. You can implement your own effects. You can cut it up even further because it's not perfect, but it helps you break up into snippets. And now you have little workable files that you can, you know, move around, clip, paste. So it's pretty cool. Opus Clip is pretty cool. We're going for a much simpler model. So like not as many effects, not as much B-rolls, just like straight value, straight content. We're trying to like focus you in more on the words instead of like fancy effects.
Right. And that's what I mean. What works, especially for marketing, is there are three huge things. It's right now on social media. It's attention grabbing, but it's the bubbly letters that pop up and they change colors and they're neon this or neon that with the bold. It really catches your attention. A phrase that kind of just like pulls like a hook.
You need a good hook
that pulls people in with the first like 2 seconds of the video,
right? So
that you grab their attention, and then it's really just looking professional.
100%.
Like this right here. I mean, this is a great setup. It looks great. It looks great on social media. It looks like you know what I mean. I'm in a studio somewhere. Yeah. Granted, it is a studio somewhere, but like it really like if you want to look a certain part. Make sure you look at a certain part before you start spewing the knowledge. Although, again, conflicting ideologies, Hormozy talks about. I know. Hormozy talks in the other direction, saying it doesn't really matter what the quality of the video is if the content is of so much value. But, I mean, that comes with balance. Like, I feel like if I look like I'm recording something in my room like this, like, yeah, guys, the market today is... You're not going to want to see that.
Yeah.
There's a way to grab attention and make people aware of, one, like whatever you're trying to make them aware of, two, add that value to them, but you got to grab them in first.
It's nice. You got to be clean, you got to be professional, and you got to be straight to the point.
Yeah.
So to create really effective content, your hook has to highlight what the video is about in like 6 words or less. It has to be straight to the point because people make a split-second decision as soon as they come across your video, whether they're going to watch it or not. So your hook has to highlight the essence of your video in like 6 words or less. And then you're right, look professional, sound.
You have to sound like you're an expert in your field.
Yeah, because you are.
But also like invest money into your equipment, into your software. Right. Because if it sounds like it was recorded in the corner of your fucking
no one's gonna watch it.
Yeah, it's got to be pleasing to the ear. That's what I was trying to say.
And
it's
that's what
pleasing to the ear. You got to look professional. and like give genuine value.
If you want to grab attention, you have to look a certain way, sound a certain way, and present in a certain fashion. And you kind of, I mean, that always changes, but you kind of just went over exactly what that means in our current time.
It is. And like on top of that, a lot of people think that they're going to start something and then they don't invest anything into it and they just expect to like get results right away, blow up on social media, go big with their podcast. And they think if you put like the bare minimum effort, you're going to get the results. But people who truly succeed in this, people who are like, look at the top of the line people. They have the best equipment, the best editors, the best everything. So you can start small, but you have to like save up, get yourself some equipment, build up what you can like afford. And that's how you continue to grow. You have to invest in yourself, invest in your like business, whether it's content creation, drop shipping, like anything, like
put
drop
some
shipping
skin
ads.
in the game.
Yeah, you gotta put skin in the game to be able to get a return, unless you get extremely lucky, which is possible. But
the quality of material you give to people, you will receive back.
Yeah, 100%.
So give them something worth watching.
Yeah, and even people say getting lucky. Like luck is
Preparation meeting opportunity.
damn right. Who said that?
Our coach.
We learned that from Steve.
Yeah.
You learned that from Steve?
Our coach Steve. Yeah.
The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Yes,
and
sir.
That's exactly because.
True.
Yeah. A and B. Shout out to, speaking of free value, shout out to the Prosperity Blueprint's newest guide, the Seller Finance Blueprint. It's available today. Link will be in the show notes. Teaches you how to get your first deal of seller finance just like we did it. We get this question a lot. What is seller finance? Our second deal actually came from a seller finance seller. And what is it? It's when the seller is the bank. They hold the note for you. You pay them monthly. The only things that's not included in the note are taxes and insurance. You got to make sure you allocate for those correctly. Take out, I'd say, save like 30% a month of the, well, yeah, it really depends. 30% of like what you would pay, like times that 30%, and then like put that aside. That's what you would be like technically paying for tax and insurance, depending. We came out with our first free guide called the Seller Finance Blueprint. It's part of our newsletter, the Prosperity Blueprint. It walks you through how to get your first deal of seller finance, gives you some negotiation tactics, things you could say, ideas, how to find leads, how to negotiate the lead, how to close the lead, the whole 9 yards. It teaches you how to, or like nuts and bolts. It's the nuts and bolts of what you need to put together your first seller finance deal. It's very similar to how we structured ours. There's a lot of back and forth negotiation, and some of the tips that we use to get our first seller finance deal, I included inside that guide. So I recommend you check it out. Link will be below. Seller Finance Blueprint. Subscribe to our newsletter. It's best of both worlds.
Nice. We're gonna keep sharing all our tips and tricks that we learn and implement into our business. If you want the Seller Finance Blueprint, comment Blueprint down below and we'll hook you up.
Free of charge, mind you. And the newsletter's free. 3 times a week we drop real estate knowledge. 3 times a week for free. For free.
In my business, what I've kind of learned is to really adapt this one stoic principle, which is being hard on yourself and easy on others. I kind of implemented that into my business because I feel like being lenient on my clients and kind of, rather than being like questioning them and kind of not failing to understand where they're coming from, being understanding and being helpful and being encouraging rather than getting frustrated over the fact that they aren't, I don't know, responding to me, getting back to me, whatever they need to get back to me, or even actively doing their side of, again, our agreement. So I feel like being easier on them kind of shows them that it is okay to kind of mess up and be scared in this process, because it's a scary process for them. It's their entire livelihood. Yeah. Whereas for me, it's something that I do on a daily basis. So I understand why people are so maybe either scared to respond or meet or go see something or go put in an application, because it's scary stuff. It's a huge thing. So rather than me trying to, or me getting frustrated saying, hey, why is this person not getting back to me? Maybe we ask them, is there any more information that you may need from me, or any insight or any advice that I can give you to help you so we can get you through to the end of the deal? Because I feel like that helps a lot more than just kind of sitting and wondering why they aren't getting back to me. So rather than them kind of getting caught up over the unknown, I kind of hand them that solution, or maybe give them a little bit more insight and encouragement. So it's definitely helped me in my business recently.
Can you share an example? Of
course.
You don't have to name drop, but
HIPAA, or not HIPAA.
You know, how you help somebody through that experience.
Yeah. So I'd say my first renter that I worked with, he works a lot, and he is new to the country, so he did not have a great understanding of kind of what it took to get into an apartment. So I kind of explained that to him.
Mm-hmm.
And in doing so, I got ghosted. Initially, I got ghosted. So I reached back out to him a couple times, gave him a little bit more of an idea of what it looks like, and with many examples and many different scenarios that could go down. And I basically explained to him my side of our agreement and kind of told him exactly what I do to help him and why I'm helping him and what he can do to help me while helping himself. So basically, after a little bit of pushing, a little bit of nudging, a little bit of encouragement, he finally got back to me, actually gave me a call while he was at work and said, hey, listen, this is urgent. We need to kind of get in somewhere. I understand the process a little bit better. And rather than me kind of just like continuously reaching out saying, hey, how are you? What do you want to do? Do you want to go see this? It's more like, hey, how can I help you? Is there anything that's not clear? And in doing that and being encouraging, I definitely made the transaction go a lot smoother. I definitely got him into a place quicker than I would have in being encouraging. And 2, I feel like I gave him that kind of peace of mind in giving him more information about the deal. And now I even gave him a little bit of information on what it takes to kind of buy, especially because he's not used to that process as well, so that he has something to think about and something to read on and something to kind of look forward to in the future, so that when it does come and he is looking, he's not scared and he's knowledgeable. Because I feel like education on anything will take all the fear and anxiety out of it.
Exactly, because you already know.
Even in investing, like in any aspect of life, if you know more about it, almost 100% of the time the fear is taken away from it. It's not scary anymore, because the unknown is what's scary to human beings by default. It's kind of how we developed to, again, like adapt to situations, is like being cautious of what we don't know. So when we do know, it's second nature to us.
Andy Elliott has a really good point when he talks about, especially in his field of sales, when he's dealing with a client that isn't sure, right? You show them everything, you show them what you got to offer, and at the end, they're like, I got to think about it. It's exactly that what you touched upon right now.
What is there to think about?
It's because you, as the person assigned to help this person, hasn't given them enough information, or hasn't given them quality information enough for them to say, you know what, I feel safe with you.
Exactly.
And that's what it reminds me of. Exactly, like, that.
Why work with me?
You know, what have you done, and how can you help that person feel better? It's nice to see that they're able to pick up on that so quick, because so many people in today's age, it seems like it's all about like, I just want my commission check.
Exactly.
There's so many
chasing $1.
Yeah, man. There's so many transaction brokers out there, but I mean, a lot of people look at real estate, especially regular residential stuff, even wholesaling. It's like the transaction for them. They're looking at the numbers at the end of the transaction when everything's done and signed. But like, if you're not, you could be a salesman. Yes, you're selling yourself. You're marketing yourself to other people. You're not only marketing either a situation or a house or a home to somebody. You know what I mean? Especially if you're selling a home. Say you're selling a home, right? Yeah, you have to market the house. Then you're negotiating it. But are you doing it so you get a higher commission, or are you doing it so that your client gets the absolute best experience and the most out of their home that they most likely deserve? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like going into a transaction thinking about the outcome, which is the money, you lose sight of what should get done within that. And that's kind of not the way that I run my business, because I feel like there are too many people focusing on the commission check and not focusing on if the person, if your client at the end of the transaction is happy and they, because my biggest thing is trying to make sure that it's as stress-free, as easy, and as quick as possible, you know? So in order to do so, the stress part, you are the professional in that scenario. So you going out of your way to make sure that they know what's going on, putting it into maybe the easiest terms for them, or kind of like giving them an idea of what you're doing, when you're doing it, why you're doing it.
Remind me, when did you officially become a realtor? September
1st.
So it's been like 3-4 months, and
something like that.
Everything you've learned up until this point makes you stand out from everybody else that says, you know what, I'm going to become a realtor. All the people that do get into it. For this upcoming year, if you had to, like, 3 essential mindset shifts that you could share with another realtor or somebody aspiring to become a realtor in 2024? What would you say?
Education and awareness. If you take education, especially in a business that, you know, you need to be completely educated or you'll look lost and make a deal go sideways, if you can continue to educate yourself to the point where you feel so comfortable and so confident in the situation and so confident you could help people, the next step and the biggest step for me now is making people aware of it, marketing myself and showing people and making them aware of the fact that I have a lot to offer, especially over other professionals. And I'm not saying any of those people aren't professionals. What I am saying is I have a very unique approach to the business, and I definitely think that more realtors should keep their clients' best interests in mind, on top of the fact that they are hiring you because you know what you're doing, and making sure that they know, again, what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how it helps them, to kind of give them that sense of security. So yeah, I feel like that's definitely a unique way to look at the business, but I think that's the direction that the business should head in. So I'm hoping that kind of rubs off on other realtors, and I feel like it has so far. So I think I'm making a positive impact, even if it's just in my community or in my field, in my community. So yeah, Marcos, what are some fun, maybe some might think they're like quirky or, you know, whatever, odd things that you do that kind of help you on a daily basis become either successful or motivated or stay disciplined even?
What are some quirky things that I do?
Yeah, like what are some things that you do that you don't think others do that maybe could help them? You know what I mean?
I start my day every day maybe reading 10 to 15 minutes in like this meditative state, reading the Bible. That gives me a space to kind of assess my thoughts, see where I'm at, kind of figure out how I'm feeling. And then it like, you know, I'm able to absorb something and then like think about it for the rest of the day. And so then so I guess this kind of popped into my head. Like little weird things that I do. I always look for a common theme throughout my day. I'm always trying to figure out like, what is God trying to teach me that day? Or you know, what's life trying to teach me that day?
Right. How's he testing you?
Right. And I feel like in conversations that you and I have, I don't know if you've noticed, but I'll always say like, you know what? I feel like that's been the common theme for the day.
Yeah.
Have you ever noticed?
I did notice that. Yeah.
So like I always start my day with scripture. And I read like maybe 1 or 2 chapters, and then I'll read it 3 times. Every single day I'll read it 3 times. And then I'll always look for, I have like weird little reflective periods where I talk to myself, or I feel like I talk to Jesus. So some people might see that as weird, but like I'm always trying to figure out, okay, well, like what's the day trying to teach me? Okay. What's the common theme for the day? And then I'll always talk to somebody about it.
That's cool.
And you know, Nick gets a lot of it. Natalia gets a lot of it. She's done I'm so thankful that we're able to talk about work, because you know when you talk to your partner, it's like, you know,
love you,
God bless you, want to talk to them. Right? You want to talk to them. Like you ask somebody, like, how was your day? Well, you know, it's hard not to talk about work because I spent most of the day working.
Yeah.
So it's like, so I'm able to then like talk to her about it and then just like let everything that's sitting in my mind, just let it out. And then she's just there to listen. And then I think that's essential. I don't think enough people, you know, a lot of people feel like they're alone or that like nobody gets them. Right. It doesn't matter. Like, you know, just, you know, finding that person who you could just let it out to, just talk about it to, I think is essential. It helps you kind of clear your head, think about things a little more logically. And then I write stuff down a lot. I now have a sticky pad, and I just, whatever's on my mind, or that like sometimes I'll be doing a task and then thinking about the next one. Yeah. I have to like write the next one or write whatever's in my head.
So you don't forget it.
So I don't forget it. And then it gets out of my head. And then like little ideas I want to revisit, I'll just put it on a sticky note, plop it somewhere. That's cool. And then as I'm reading, as I'm going through pages of my books, I have my sticky. That's another thing, another reading tip. To get the most out of your reading, I believe you should always have a pencil, a highlighter, and a sticky pad. You write down you like summarize an important part of I can't freaking
You
speak.
like
You
regurgitate
summarize
it into your own words, your
This-
own language, so that it sticks with you because that's you now saying
Right.
it or writing it at least.
I think it's the like hearing myself throws me off because like I'll say something
Yeah.
and then like a second after I keep hearing my words and then I say the same word again.
You know, Peterson, going back to what you were saying about conversation, Peterson has, I believe it's Rule 10. I believe it was Rule 10. In 12 Rules of Life, he was talking about how, at the absolute very least, having a conversation or speaking out loud to another person, if they say nothing verbally, gives you the stage and gives you, it kind of puts you into the mindset to organize your thoughts, because you can talk to yourself in your head all day, but once you really are able to say it out loud, you make connections that you're not able to do while you're sitting in your, you know what I mean? It's just filling up your subconscious. So when you say it out loud and you try to put together an idea, your brain has an easier time in doing so. And if you could find somebody that you could sit down with and even have these kind of conversations to, knowing all they're going to be doing is listening.
Just have them listen.
If you have anything you're anxious about or you're nervous about or you don't have a solution for something, talk to somebody about it.
Right.
And they don't even have to say anything verbally. They're looking at you, nodding, trying to understand what you're saying, even maybe repeating it back to you so they understand what you know that they understand what you're saying. All of that kind of makes it significantly easier for you to work through a problem.
Right.
I feel like that's why, I mean, I signed up for therapy recently, and my therapist is great. She's such a smart lady, super understanding. They kind of have to be. But
they're getting paid for it.
they do get paid.
Like,
But I told my therapist that the biggest reason why I was there, the basic reason why I was there, and at the very least what I wanted to do was have a spot where I can kind of talk about how I was feeling or what I wanted to talk about out loud so I can organize my thoughts that way and kind of work through problems on my own. Because I always realized that I've made connections, especially on a thought that I've been contemplating, by speaking it out loud or, you know what I mean, speaking it into existence.
Right.
So I think that's a really big thing. And I think it's a great insight on just having people actively listen to you.
Seeing that we're promoting, we're encouraging entrepreneurship and we're trying to promote positivity. I think from time to time, like, let people know, any close friend you have, let them know. Listen, if there's anything going on in your mind, if there's anything going on in your mind, let somebody know, dude, you can call me at any time. And if you need somebody to just listen, like, I'm that person. I think, I think in general, you know, if people felt, because I've had a hard time finding people because I never felt like I wanted to bother somebody else with my problems. But it's important to be able to speak into existence, let out what's on your mind. So send this to somebody that, and let them know, if you ever need somebody to talk to, and you need me to just listen, I'm here. Anything at all that's on your mind that's bothering you, I'm here. And we're boys, so it's a no judgment zone, man to man, what's going on, and we'll figure this out together.
damn right.
Sheen, real quick, what are some things that people can expect from you? Where can people find you? What are your plans for 2024? What's going on?
Definitely go follow me on Facebook, Elijah_Sheen, Instagram, Elijah Sheen Realty, all lowercase, no spaces, straight to the point. And my phone number is 860-538-3726. If you have any questions real estate related, give me a call. I'd love to chat with you about it, and if I could help you in some way, I'd love to do so. So reach out to me at any of those
sources. And on
handles, you'll see them below on the screen. Follow Elijah. Find a few people you want to learn from and just kind of follow them throughout the year. See how they're doing, and then just kind of,
I challenge.
Shameless.
I challenge you guys going into 2024 to find good people that support you in what you do, because I swear it'll do wonders for you, your business, and your future.
It's essential. Having people around you that care about you, love you, and want to see you succeed will do things that you could not do alone, because nobody could do everything alone. on that note, thank you for joining us today on the AstraCAST. Thank you, Elijah, for joining us today. It was a fantastic
I
episode.
had a great time. Thank you for having me.
Hell yeah. Be sure to check out the Prosperity Blueprint. 3 times a week we do a newsletter. You'll find the Seller Finance Guide there, but you'll also find a lot of other tidbits and information there as well. So be sure to check that out. Any final words?
That's it. Thank you for the book. Merry Christmas, everyone.